You could pray 5 times a day, fast every Ramadan, know the Qur'an by heart, and still, according to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, carry a sickness inside you that has nothing to do with how much you worship. It isn't about how often you go to the masjid. It's about 3 small habits, and chances are you've done at least one of them this week. What Nifaq actually means, the word is Nifaq, hypocrisy. But before we go further, we need to be honest about what kind we're talking about. There are 2 kinds. The first is belief-based hypocrisy, pretending to be Muslim while rejecting Islam inwardly. That's a different, far heavier matter, and it's not what this video is about. The second kind is Nifaq of action, moments where a believer's outward words don't match their inward truth. This is a disease of the heart, not a departure from faith. And the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, named its symptoms with startling precision. In one of the most repeated Hadith in Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih Muslim, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The signs of a hypocrite are 3. Sign 1, when he speaks he lies, not just the big lies, the small ones. The, I'm 5 minutes away when you haven't left the house. The exaggerated excuse, the story stretched just a little for effect. Sign 2, when he promises he breaks it. The, I'll call you back. That never happens. The commitment made just to end an awkward conversation never meant to be kept. Sign 3, when he is trusted he betrays that trust. The secret shared, that was never meant to leave the room. The responsibility handed to you that quietly slipped through the cracks." And here's the part that should stop us cold. In Sahih Muslim, this hadith carries an addition. Even if he fasts and prays and claims to be a Muslim, worship was never the shield we thought it was. The 4th sign. There's a second narration also in Bukhari that extends the list to 4. It adds, whenever he makes a covenant, he is treacherous, and whenever he argues, he becomes abusive. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Whoever has all 4 is a complete hypocrite, and whoever has even one of them carries a trace of hypocrisy until they let it go." Not a life sentence. A trace. Something you can still remove. Why this matters more than we think. We tend to measure our faith in ritual. Did I pray on time? Did I fast the whole month? Did I finish the Qur'an this Ramadan? All good things. But these 3 signs measure something else entirely. Character. And character is quieter. It doesn't show up on a prayer mat. It shows up in a text message you never intended to keep. A promise you made just to be polite. A secret you weren't careful with. Allah describes this exact pattern in the Qur'an. When they come to you, they say, "We believe," but they enter with disbelief and leave with it. The outside and the inside out of alignment. That's the real definition of Nifaq, not what you say. What's underneath what you say? The way out. So what do you actually do with this? You don't panic. You don't decide you're a hypocrite and give up. The scholars who explained this hadith were clear. This is a call to examine, not to despair. Every time you catch a small lie before it leaves your mouth, every time you follow through on something small you promised, every time you guard something someone trusted you with, even when no one would ever find out, that's the cure, one habit at a time. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, didn't describe hypocrisy to frighten us. He described it so we could recognize it early, while it's still just a trace and not yet a pattern. 3 signs: lying, broken promises, betrayed trust. Small enough to miss, serious enough that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, warned an entire nation about them more than once. The question isn't whether you've ever done one of these things. Almost everyone has. The question is what you do the next time you're standing at that exact moment, and whether you choose differently. That's between you and Allah. And it starts today.